Good afternoon and welcome to Exposition, a show about the art and culture scene in southeastern Ohio. With me is Valerie Thomas, and she runs the Artisan Market and Studio or something like that. It's such a long name.
I know. It's Gallia County Artisan Market and then the Artisan Shop and Studio.
Right.
Yes.
That thing.
That.
Okay. So what's going on down there this month? This is the October edition.
Yes. October 28th, which is a Friday coming up, we will be having an open house, and we welcome you to dress up in costume. There will be a best costume prize, and it's a BYOB, and you can, and there will be light refreshments, and we hope you can come. It's on the 28th at the Artisan Shop and Studio at 300 2nd Avenue, Gallipolis. And then other things are coming up, of course, like we have classes and things like that. But go check out our Facebook pages for the events listed. And
What kind of classes do you offer?
We have everything from painting, stained glass making, and cake decorating, and watercolor painting, and the list goes on and on. Basket weaving is coming up, so please check out our Facebook page and come see us at the Artisan Shop and Studio.
So we have a special guest today who has an interesting business in Portsmouth.
Yeah, she's awesome. This is Cinamon Wellington of the Happy Pot.
Hi.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. We're so happy to have you.
Well, I own the Happy Pot. It's a paint your own pottery art studio.
Which we're missing here in Gallipolis. So
Yes, well, we are mobile.
So
You can check us out on Facebook, the Happy Pot Studio, or thehappypot.com. There it'll show you a little bit of what we do. Our colorful art studio holds about 40 artists at one time. We do different painting techniques. We can paint with shaving cream, bubbles. We do exploding paint. We do wet paper techniques.
Oh my goodness.
Anything you can imagine that you would do on a canvas, we can do with pottery.
That's so excellent.
So this is pottery only?
Pottery only.
Okay, and what I understand, you don't have to pour the pottery. The pottery is already fired once?
Yes, our pottery is all ready for painting. So you would come in, wash your hands, pick your pottery, and then we explain how the paints work and all the tools that we have to create your masterpiece. And then after you're done, you leave it with us. It takes approximately 1 week for us to glaze and fire. We do about 250 pieces at a time. And then you come back and get it, and we make it look beautiful. It's shiny, and it's not anything how you left it.
Right, that's
so
I used to
cool.
do a little bit of that, and it's kind of surprising. The color of the glaze that you put on there is not necessarily how it's going to look in the end.
No, and that's my favorite part because it's kind of a mystery.
Now, when you pick it out, can you pick out what color it's going to be?
Yes. We have a area where all of our paints are, and we have tiles that are already glazed and baked.
Okay.
So once you pour that tile, say it's, say you choose a pink. When you pour that, it might look purple. But once I glaze and bake it, it'll be a hot pink. So I would have a tile with that number that correlates with that paint to show you what color it'll be like once it's glazed and baked.
Okay.
So what you see is what you get
Yes.
from that. Instead,
Yes.
I mean, the end product.
Yes. I
Yes.
always tell people not to pick from the paints, to pick
Yes.
the numbers from the tiles,
Right.
because it won't look anything like that.
Yes.
So what are these other things that you do with it? The other stuff you put on, how does that work?
The glaze, it's the paint itself has a glaze in it.
The you said like bubbles and different things.
Oh
like that.
yeah, the
Those extra
techniques.
things.
Yes,
Things
the
like that.
techniques. Yeah, that came with me just being bored.
Oh.
I'll be honest. You can come to a pottery studio. We have over 1,000 pieces, maybe closer to 2,000 now, and you can pick and paint any way you want. Well, to get people coming back again and again, you kind of have to make it a little exciting.
Yes, mix it
So,
up.
yes, so we have come up with different ways to paint.
That's
So we can take
amazing.
dishwashing soap, paint and water. It's
Like what's this
kind of like a
soap
measure.
do to it?
Well, you put it in a cup and you blow bubbles, and then the bubbles come up and it falls over on the pottery, and then they pop.
Oh.
And then it leaves a distinct pattern on your pottery with those paint colors.
Does that turn black or just a totally different color?
A totally different color. Whatever color you choose is whatever paint I put in that cup. So if you chose army green, then your bubbles would pop army green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same way with shaving cream. You paint it a certain way, then I take aluminum foil, put it on the table, put shaving cream down, and then take a knife and ice it like a cake. Take paint, pour it all over any design you want, roll it, let it sit, and then I gently rinse it off, and it'll give it kind of like a galaxy look.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and then we bake it.
Because that's all a
my
chemical
gosh.
process. It's
Yes.
just hard to figure out what it would do.
Yes.
Except just without
You're so
experimenting.
brave.
Yes, and the same way with the exploding paint. I mean
Ah.
that's Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer is amazing. But yeah, it'll shoot up about 30 feet in the air. We do that with local Boy Scout camps for mobile
Really?
events. It's fun. You explain a science element to painting.
Now, what's
my
shooting at
goodness.
30 feet?
Well, you have them paint,
Okay.
and then we take old film cartridges and
Okay.
we put
Those
water
little
and
black
paint.
plastic things?
Yes, and then we put a fourth of it Alka-Seltzer in there. We shake it up, turn it over, and then the pressure will build up, and then it'll shoot up in the air.
Crazy.
But that's not in the kiln.
No, that's not in the kiln.
Okay.
And technically, it
things
shouldn't
that
be in
blow
your
up
art
in the
studio
kiln
either.
Things that blow up in the kiln are not,
It's not
friendly.
good. Yeah, no, not
'Cause
good.
I was wondering, how do
Yeah.
things blow up and not destroy everything?
Yeah, well, and that's exactly what it does. Is destroy everything, and that's not good for business.
Right.
Ew.
Not good for business at all.
Oh no.
Does that ever happen?
Or
Or cracks or different
Yes,
things?
cracks. Yes. Sometimes because our kiln's so large, I have to stand on my tippy toes sometimes to get pieces out. So I've actually fallen in the kiln before unloading. Yes, I have.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I
I didn't mean to
have.
laugh.
But I was
No.
talking to a professor one time, and he said that I could be doing this for the next 50 years, and you're always going to have an uh-oh. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what makes life exciting, is that sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. You just have to be honest, and that's what we're proud of at the Happy Pot, is if there is an uh-oh, we tell you the truth, and we make it right.
Yeah. That's
What
great.
would cause things like that?
Cracks.
Yeah, cracks and explosions.
If there's a bubble in the pottery,
The bisque itself.
yes. As it cooks as greenware, it can cause an explosion. Or as far as a crack, that could be anything. That could be a hairline fracture. That could be how it was poured and molded.
Not
It-
necessarily the way you paint it.
No.
So it's more in the pottery itself.
Yes.
Is there anything you should look for when you're picking your piece out? Because you can probably pick your own thing, right?
Yes.
Just so you don't have greasy hands and finger everything.
Yeah, that's very, very important. Most people don't realize that oil and dirt from your fingertips can affect how the paint adheres to a piece. So it looks like that it's adhered when you sit down and paint it, but once I go to bake it, it doesn't bake on the piece. So you'll have just big raw pieces of bisque.
Oh my goodness.
So it's very, very, very important that you always have clean hands when handling any kind of bisque.
I think it would be fun if you just kept a lot of those bad pieces, and then maybe at the end of a class you have a couple people that's gotten frustrated, and just have them wing it against the wall.
Well, it's funny. It is.
Boom!
It's funny that you mentioned that, because we actually do throw paint in there too. So it's a great stress reliever.
Yeah.
That happened by accident. I had a little one in there.
accident.
Yes, a little happy accident. And I had a little one in there, and he was trying to paint, and he was basically throwing it at his piece, just taking his brush and whipping it. And I thought, oh, you know what? That could work. So I went and got a cardboard box. Put it on a little Lazy Susan, and let him throw paint. And now that's a big hit. Those little ones love, and I can't lie, I do too. I love the throw paint.
Little Jackson Pollock going on there.
Yeah,
I just thought it'd be cool just to throw something because
yeah.
there's been times at
That's
home
another great part
you
of
get
things.
I'm gonna go
irritated and
throw
you like pick
something.
up something. I was like, that's expensive.
I'm going to throw
But if-
paint and I'm going to make
if
a
it's
piece of
already
art.
ruined, then what the heck?
Exactly,
Just go for
and
it.
it would be a wonderful mosaic.
Yeah.
You could take
Oh.
all those
Right.
pieces and create something wonderful out of
my
it.
gosh.
I mean, this could be another
yes.
business for me. Thank
Yes,
you.
Yeah.
it could. Oh
Just
my
take
gosh.
stained glass. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very cool.
I'll remember to thank you when
okay,
I'm
no
on,
problem.
That's right.
when I'm on the Today Show.
Yes, yes. That's awesome.
So you said you would travel around. Where do you travel? This is not
How far?
to my house for a birthday party.
No, I've never actually went to someone's house. I'm not sure how comfortable I would be with something like that. But what we do is large events. So we'll do things for hospitals, schools, Boy Scout, Girl Scout camps, any kind of nursing home, residential homes. Anything with at least 12 or more painters, we'll actually take the art and go to them and do that.
So what would
That's
you?
so great.
How would you pick out? Would they come to the shop and say, "Okay, we want these type of pieces"?
Yeah. Well, actually, what I do is I talk to them. I get a price point of what they're looking for, and then I give them. I try to give them at least 3 options, and then they'll decide on what piece. And then I show up. I have a portable paint chart so they can see what it's going to look like when it's baked. They can pick their colors, and then I just assist them from there. And then when it's all done, I pack everything up, take it back to the art studio, unload, let it dry for a good day afterwards, and then glaze it, and then put it in the kiln.
So when would you pick things up? Would that be like the next week?
Yeah, I try to always say, we always have Thursday pickups. So if you are a large organization, and you came in or I came to you and we did 150 pieces, something like that would at least take me, with being a small business, at least a week to get back to you. If it's a school and I'm doing ornaments or something like that, usually I can come out to you on a Monday and have those pieces back to you by Friday.
Wow.
We individually bag them, we box them by classroom, and then we deliver them to them.
That is so great.
That's
lot
the
to get
best
done.
part. Yeah, it's the best part about being a small business is that you have that personal touch. They get to know you and your family, and you get to know them and their likes and dislikes. So it's fun. It's a whole new exciting chapter.
I know we've been running some things on the screen. Could you want to put some more pictures of art that you've had created in there?
Yeah, there's our Happy Pot van. That's something that we use in local parades. And when we do mobile events, that's something I drive. The kids get a big kick out of it. It has a sound system. We play music. It has a light show underneath. It even has a microphone, so I can talk to them, and they get really, really tickled. They call it the Scooby-Doo van. And this is a local painting technique class that we did last Saturday, actually, and that is the Frankenstein mug. And what we do on Saturdays is around 1 o'clock, we take one piece of pottery, we teach a certain technique, and we discount that pottery. So you can get a group of girls together, guys, kids, and you can come in and make a masterpiece. We also do things for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Right there is a ball team, birthday parties. Any reason to party we find, we will make it happen.
Yay.
Yes. We're big in our community with doing community support, and that is a type 1 diabetes day camp that we participated in. Our studio is also handicap accessible. We do large events. That's for Women's Heart Health. That was for 200 painters at Southern Ohio Medical Center.
That's amazing.
And these are the people that love me the most, that volunteer and walk on my parades.
Oh, good.
with being a small business, it's my husband and I and our daughter. We have a teenager that comes and helps us on the Saturday. But most of the people that you see here are the ones that when I do these large events and I go to the Boy Scout or Girl Scout camps and I do over 100 painters, they're with me helping and believing in us and my dream. And these are schools. This is Notre Dame Elementary. I did a popcorn bowl, a large bowl, and I took each of their fingerprints and I made it into popcorn, and they raffled it off at a community event, and from that 3rd grade class.
How do you do a fingerprint popcorn?
Well, you take their little fingers and you put paint on it and you put it down. And so I'd have one here, one here, one here, one here.
Okay.
And then I'd go back and trim it out in black to make it look just like popcorn.
On one piece?
Yes, actually in a serving bowl. It was like
A large
this
thing,
big.
so
Yes.
they all get it on there?
Yes, yeah. So
Okay.
all their pieces were there, and then
So is it like white paint?
yellow for popcorn. The
Okay.
inside was white, and then I trimmed it out in blue, and then I used stickers, which a lot of people don't realize that you can use stickers and paint over, and then take
What
the
does that
sticker
do?
off. It makes your lettering look professional. So,
Oh, okay, you take it off before you fire it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I
and
was
then you
wondering.
fill it
I'm
out.
always thinking fire.
Yes, yeah. Not exploding anything in my kiln. I promise you, not exploding anything. Exactly.
Chemical reactions.
Right.
Exactly.
So is there anything else you can put on this stuff besides the glaze, like sprinkles of whatever?
Well, not really.
No?
Like, we had talked about trying glitter once to see what that would do. I've not attempted that. I'm sure it's not a good idea.
Because it's got metal
Yes, yes,
in it that could.
yes. But, you never know what's going to work unless you try it.
Right.
So as long as no one else's pieces are in there, so I
I
can't
thought maybe
damage
there might be a
anything.
glaze that comes in flake form.
There are different glazes. Anything you can imagine, you can buy a glaze there. But that's when it gets expensive.
Okay.
Obviously, we would buy in bulk because we're doing large pieces at a time. So if I bought a different kind of glaze in a gallon, that might be enough for one load, but not enough to continuously try.
So if you did a group and you came to their place, school or whatever, would they all get the same, if we're all doing cups or bowls or whatever, or would they all do different things?
It's up to whoever's hosting the event. In their budget,
teacher.
yes, in their budget. So if I'm doing ornaments, I may bring 6 to 8 different ornaments for
And
those
as
children
an
to
ornament
choose
was
from.
like a flat tag kind of thing?
Yes, we do have 3-dimensional ornaments also, but I've never done those with the schools. Usually with the schools we do a flat ornament, and then when I write their name on the back of the piece, I identify it with a 1 for maybe classroom A, B, because I may do 8 or 10 classrooms at a time.
Right.
So I have to be able to separate all those and keep all that straight in my mind to be able to deliver them properly.
Oh, sure.
And
Gotta
you probably have
code
to keep
'em.
a sheet of what kids have what ones.
Well, that's where my symbols come in. I kind of say I go to Mrs. Campbell's class. So Mrs. Campbell's class could be, I could put Cinamon Wellington on the back of that ornament, and I may put a C to remind myself that it's Campbell's class, or I may put a 1, meaning that's the first class that I've done of the day, to be able to keep it all straight. And then each class I'll give a new symbol to, and then I'm able to keep it all straight
Okay.
by the grace of God. So far, so good.
Yeah.
I think both sides of your brain are working.
Sometimes.
Do we have any more pictures that we haven't gotten to yet?
Oh, how
Oh, superheroes.
fun. Oh, my. Ooh,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah, so
Wow.
we try to keep it a little interesting. We have serving platters and things for adults, but what small business shouldn't love a superhero? And that's kind of what I feel like we are, superheroes. We've taken our dream and made it a reality.
That's so great.
and our pineapples and our donut banks. I have a 5-year-old. She helps in all the pottery selection.
What did
And
you do with
that's
that?
Bubbles.
Okay,
That's a Bubbles. That's
gosh,
a
I love
a
that.
dinosaur bubble.
that's kind of cool.
I love it.
I guess that's Bubbles.
Yes, that's also Bubbles.
Wow.
And the middle was taped off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how beautiful.
And that's a very interesting piece. That is a platter that a woman did for her mother for her wedding. So she painted it, and then I sent my underwriter pencil, and each guest signed a leaf,
Huh.
Oh my goodness.
and then brought it back, and I glazed it and baked it. So that was
Wow.
actually their guest book.
That's
Cool.
so beautiful. What a great idea.
My husband is also an Iraqi veteran,
Okay.
and that was one of the tanks
That
that
First
he
Armored
saw.
Division.
Yes.
Because Mike, you would know.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Angry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even. Oh my goodness.
I guess that's a piece of pottery there with a lid.
Yes, it's a coffee cup with a lid.
So the lid is plastic or something.
Mm-hmm.
It fits. Cool.
Is that a
Yeah.
minion? Oh, that was a minion.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, a minion. Yes, there's so much you could do with pottery. People,
I was doing this like 30 years ago. We didn't have that kind of thing.
well, again, people think of it as an old art, and it's not. It's so fun and so exciting.
Possibilities are endless.
Exactly,
Oh my
exactly. And you
gosh.
can make it as fun as you want to be.
Yes.
So I think it's up and coming. I think it's something that we haven't given it enough thought of.
Yeah, we were doing stuff like the flour and sugar and those things with the lids on them.
Yeah, the traditional pieces.
Yeah, or
Coffee cup or
figurines,
mug
yeah.
or some vase and things, which are
Do
all
you-
can be beautiful.
Yes,
and
they
it's
can.
wonderful.
Do you do like plates and cups and things that you can actually use? And you have
Yes.
Isn't there a difference in the glaze that you have to use? No.
No. Anything that we glaze is food and drink safe.
Oh, okay.
And dishwasher?
Dishwasher, no, they
No?
don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't. They don't suggest that you ever put a piece of pottery that's been glazed in the dishwasher.
What would happen?
I'm not really sure. I'm not
Is
sure
it
if it would
just
help
the
with
water,
like.
or is the drying sequence that?
I'm not sure because they're oven safe.
Right.
So I wouldn't think it would be the drying.
I was just thinking maybe if there was a bare spot that would get wet and soak it in, and then when you get the drying, maybe that does something.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not sure. That's something we need to Google.
Yeah.
I will Google that. I promise.
Yeah. Awesome. And then put it on your face.
So what kind of prices? I guess if you went to do an organization, the organization would play a flat rate, and if you just came, a couple to the shop, then you would do individual rates.
Yeah.
How is that? Is it size of the piece, or how many paints, or how do
Yeah,
you do that?
and it's usually the piece itself. Everything's individually priced. That includes your studio time, your paint, your glaze, the use of electric in the kiln. It's all included in one price, and then all you have to do is pay tax. So we'll just, for example, we'll say you wanted just a plain coffee cup. That coffee cup may be $15. And then you just incorporate tax and that's it. If you're a large organization wanting a large event, what we do is once we decide on that piece, I'll draw up an estimate and we'll give you a flat rate of me coming, doing the piece, going back and doing all the hard work, which is glazing and baking, individually bagging, and then we'll return that piece to you. And then we'll give them one flat rate.
That's
So-
so great. How fun is that?
Maybe I'm backpedaling here. How did you get into this? Because you were not trained
No.
in that necessarily.
No, I was a social worker for 13 years. I have a degree in social work and special education. So my husband and I were in South Carolina. We took my niece, who wasn't even one at the time, to a paint your own pottery art studio. We had the best time ever. It was amazing. We went to a couple others, just him and I, on dates. And then we were blessed enough to have our daughter, and we did it with her. And we had decided we had saved our money, and I thought that's exactly what our community needed. We needed an outlet. We needed an area where you could go for 1 hour or 2 hours and just be happy.
Yes.
Just be happy.
That's
So, and that's how we did it. Everything we've learned, we've talked to professors, we've interned, we've researched and researched and researched. And we've just learned. We make mistakes along the way. We're still learning, but that's kind of the excitement of it.
Yeah.
And
That's one thing with art. You never like just master it, and it's like, I'm done learning. This is good. I'm done with it. There's always something else to learn.
Yeah, and it's kind of exciting because you never know what the next day is going to bring. Who's going to come into the art studio? Because I learn as much from my customers as I learn from myself. I probably learn more from them. I love to just sit and watch how people's minds process, how they interpret things, because that's very inspiring, and I think it makes me a better business owner because those are the things that I appreciate, and I think that's what makes us successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've kind of said about education. Education may open your horizons, but in certain creative aspects, education is limiting because it would tell you this is how you do it. But a child, when creating, they don't know where those boundaries are. And like you said, the kid that was just throwing stuff at it, they may discover something new because they weren't taught that you can't do that.
And I don't know who came up with the idea that said that when you become a grown-up, that why we have to have those boundaries. Yeah.
You need to be
Right.
serious.
Why can't
This
we
is the way it's
still
done.
be, yes, that you can't be creative and you can't think independently, that it has to be, A, B, and C. Well, you know what? You can get to C. Sometimes you just go around B.
Creative license.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so where can they find your
Art studio?
right?
All right. Our address is 1420 13th Street, Suite 213 in West Portsmouth, Ohio. If that's too far away for you, find us on Facebook, The Happy Pot Studio, or get online, thehappypot.com. We look forward to painting with you.
Okay. Well, this has been fun. And
Thank you for
we
having
might
me.
have to
Thank
sneak
you
down
for
there and see what
being
it's like.
here. I
Deal.
can't wait.
Or maybe I'll bring some to you and we can explode it right here.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's explode some paint.
Okay, well, thanks for watching the October edition, and we'll see you next month. And I think we have a painter on next month.
Yes, we do. And I call him Patrick the Painter.
Okay.
But he will say his name, and it'll be the right name.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you in November.